Story pale lifestyle tutorials. So our story today is about Matatu business. Matatu business has had dynamic changes, and over time things have become better. So I remember back in high school, I experienced being in Thika Road along the days we never had the superhighway. So those days, I remember banks like Co-operative Bank from Ruiru, Juja, and from Weteithie, they would prefer going to bank in Nyeri instead of going to the CBD, because once they went to the CBD, jam ilikuwa mingi, and jam would start from Githurai 44. Towards the direction of CBD. So they would prefer banking with the Nyeri branch. Then later we came to stage 2, where Thika Road was constructed. Matatu business kept evolving, and we had these Matatus. I'll not name them. The Matatus from Thika to Nairobi, they would charge you 70 bob to 100 shillings. But on coming back, especially if there was rain, and they would charge you 200 shillings. That is, if they had charged you 70 bob to from Thika to Nairobi, then from Nairobi to Thika on coming back, they charge you 200. That is over 250% increasement. They were taking advantage of people, but they were outfaced. They were outfaced by this stage number 3 in Matatu business, which is Kenyan. Kenyan came, they were serious. Those guys were charging 50 shillings from Thika to the CBD. And from CBD to Thika, they would charge 70 bob. So people loved them, and they kept their business, and their business was sweet to them. Later, the body experienced some mismanagement, and especially in the CBD, people would scramble to get in those buses, and there was no order. And the organization body had struggles with the corporate governorship, the leadership in the directors, and their services kept diminishing, and customers were always kept complaining. But because of being the only people in town dominating the Thika Superhighway, they would never listen to passengers. They kept, every time their inefficiency was experienced, but by them having every stopover from Nairobi to Thika, and we have around 20 stopovers. So now we got this brand, which is stage number 5, which is Super Metro. Super Metro came, they were serious guys, they were organized, the management was quite proper. And in the CBD, they would have order, people would line up in lines, they would not hike prices, they were disciplined. And another thing, the investors came along with something. They said there is no driver or conductor who would manage their buses while drunk. They said you cannot drive by 6 million bus and you come drunk. So through proper management, they were able to surpass the Kenyan, and people forgot about Kenyan, and they were all over Super Metro. So that is the journey of Matatu business in Kenya along the Thika Superhighway over like the last all the way from 2010. Because 2010 is then we had the Matatu, we transited to Kenyan, then later to Super Metro. But there is this other bus which was along called Lofa. Lofa, up to today in town, they are good, but they have a lot of mismanagement. That circle is headed to fall down. Reason, once you're in CBD and you're headed to Thika, they are never organized. You meet every driver decides which route to pick. Then the conductors they do not have an overall head. You meet every conductor is there deciding which route the vehicle will pick, and sometimes they hike prices. Like maybe when the kukinyesha, You find their price from CBD to Thika should be around 100 bob. You find them charging 150 shillings all of a sudden. So the moral of the story is management is very important, and anytime a business is there, it should always be open to what the customers to customer suggestion. If customers are complaining, adhere to them, or else you'll be outfaced. Thank you. This is Lifestyle Tutorials by Edward Karongo. Stay tuned.